one of the partners, and I asked one of the partners, why? And he said, perception is reality. What we don't see does not count. Hey, that day I cried though, but I learned a good lesson. Okay? So how leaders perceive you is how they will judge you. So that's why it's important that you have a sponsor in that room that can speak to the work that you do, right? And your manager also is aligned and on the same page. Visibility determines opportunity. Is whoever comes top of mind that they give the opportunities to. I also remember then it's still the same consulting firm. We're having a project with Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the team was coming in from the US. And for some reason, their secretary took ill or something and she couldn't come. And they were trying to find who would follow them to all their meetings and take minutes of the meeting. And, one of the partners just said, oh yeah, Jumoke can do it. And that's how I got on the project. Guess what? I'd never written minutes per se. I know there's somebody, if she's on the call, Jane Akujuru, God bless you real good, right? Because in the times of CU days, she used to help with some minutes of meetings. Is that knowledge that I just, you know what, we're going to get into it. And I did it, and I got a commendation letter after, right? So you have to be top of mind. Political awareness is a skill. There are some bosses that you get close to that you will never get opportunity in the organization because nobody likes them, even in leadership. So because you are even associated with them, their brand has rubbed off on you and has blocked opportunities for you. So you need to be politically aware. What's going on at the top? Who do I need to be close to and who do I need to avoid? Right? It's important to know. Sponsors, like I said, we cannot shout this one enough. You need sponsorship. I have about 3 minutes to round this up, so we're going to get there. What does this mean for where you currently are? And I try to differentiate this as much as possible because, like I said, again, the needs are very different, right? So for early career, you need direction and visibility. For mid-career, you need to reposition. Perhaps, peradventure, you built a brand unknowingly, or a brand was built for you unknowingly. You need to reposition and you need sponsorship, okay? So for early careers, get specific about direction, not just a category. Name a role, a level, a sector, right? And find somebody that is already there. See what their profile looks like and see what you can do to get to that level, okay? Build your network before you need it. Don't start building relationships because you're looking for a job opportunity. Start building now so that you can build up your social capital, okay? Raise your hand before you feel ready. Many times we never feel ready. Even when I was transitioning from a 9-to-5 to entrepreneurship, I did not feel ready. Gosh, these days I don't even feel ready. I have projects that I feel like, hey, imposter syndrome. Who gave me this project? How dare you trust me with your brand? Right? And then we do a great job and we feel good about it because we got backing. We know what we're doing. We've got people we can reach out to. We've got God on our side. So, like, seriously, raise your hand before you're ready. But not just for everything, for things that align with where you're going. Find a mentor this quarter. So if you don't have a mentor, find one, at least one this quarter. It is important that you have mentorship. Many times, they've navigated waters that you are just entering. Many times, their story can be a cautionary tale for you, right? So you know what not to do. And then track what you are becoming known for. Your personal brand, if you don't build it, people will build it for you. Once upon a time, some people built a brand that said, I was the happy-go-lucky person who was ready to do everybody else's work. And then when I noticed it, I audited myself and started to do things intentionally to position myself as a problem solver. So it was beyond my role. It was beyond my pay grade. It was like, if you need a problem solved, call her. She'll solve it for you. Or she'll at least find somebody that solves it for you. We need to be intentional about our personal brand. Okay? And then for the mid-level people, reposition does not just promote. Okay? Sometimes it rewrites your narrative. Sometimes it pushes you in a direction that is different from where you're already going. Repositioning helps you, reset. and make way for big opportunities or bigger opportunities. Identify your sponsor. Who's calling your name? Who is defending you in rooms where you don't have access to? Make your thinking visible. Thought leadership. Deliver work. Deliver good quality work. There's something I always say, excellence honors God. You have to be excellent in the things that you do. Audit your network honestly. Do I have just a group of fans, a group of yes people, or do I have a rich network? Is my network just the people that sit beside me in the working place? Or do I know people in other industries? In my industry, do I know people? In other industries, do I know people? Okay. And then name what you want to be known for next. Again, a personal branding challenge. All right. So as we wrap this up, here are some things that I would like you to know. What is that one thing that you will do differently starting tomorrow? Again, you don't have to put it in the chat, just write it in your notes or in your book. What's that one thing? What have I been avoiding that I now have clarity or courage to address? What have you been pushing forward and procrastinating on that you now can say, okay, you know what, I can confidently sit down and deal with it. Even though I'm going to do it afraid, I'm going to do it. What did I learn that changes how I think about my career? So what did you learn today that changes how you think about your career? That one you can throw in the chat box. Let's look at it. Let's engage with you. Careers change when people become intentional. You're already in the room. The question is, what are you going to do next? So thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Come on, guys. I thought that by now the applause will be raging. Thank you, Jumoke. Come on. So I particularly like, when she was talking about, hard work alone cannot guarantee career growth. I mean, we have quite a number of persons who are doing the work and grinding daily, but it doesn't look like they're moving the needle. So what do you need? You need mentors, you need sponsors rather and mentors, people who can guide you, and at the same time you need people in the room who can speak up for you. Thank you, Jumoke, for that powerful session. So we will be going straight into the question and answer segment. I know that we're a bit spent for time, so if you just give us another 15 minutes, we will be looking to wrap up today's session, right? If we have any questions, I'm not sure I've seen any question yet, but do we have any question that would like to ask or we need clarity on? But just to begin, there's something I wanted to just clarify, and I'd like you to shed more light on that, Jumoke. How do we show up appropriately? I know I mean, when you were talking earlier, you did speak about showing up appropriately, right? I say this because I've had a lot of persons ask me, there are people who say they don't like ass kissing and they feel like, when you're political aware, it feels like you're kissing ass and what's the word? You're there's this negative connotation that they have with being political in a car in an office setting, right? I don't like to kiss people's ass. I'm very practical. This is me. I don't want to look I'm bound to anybody or trying to kiss their ass so I get promoted or things around that, right?
Right.
And so the question is, how would you suggest persons like this who in a sense don't want to kiss people's asses, right? Please pardon my English or my French. How do persons like that manage office politics? How do they navigate? How do they show up appropriately without making it look like they are, trying to kiss their boss's ass or trying to love up to persons just because they want to get promoted or show up? And then I'll ask the second one after that.
Okay, so thank you. And honestly, I was one of those who felt like, oh, my work should speak for me, so I don't have to suck up to you or bootlick or brown nose or whatever it is the term is in whatever context that you are in. And so it's important that we first of all understand that relationships are built in different spaces for different reasons. Okay, so understanding corporate politics is not bootlicking or brown nosing, it is a corporate survival skill. Let me ask you, even in the context of your family, right, which is the smallest unit of society, do you treat everybody the same? Do you react to everybody the same? Do you address everybody the same? If you do, please send your address. I would like to be your friend and understand what the dynamics are over there, right? Even within the family unit, there are ways that we relate to daddy, there are ways we relate to mommy, there are ways we relate to aunties and uncles, because the power distance is different. Now, understanding high power distance cultures like African culture, because there are some cultures that have low power distance, like in the Western world, where respect is not really as long as you get your job done, hey, yeah, whatever. But even they have their own political dynamics. But we have a high power distance culture already, where you might even be at work, and even though it's inappropriate, somebody will say, "I have your type at home." They've said it to me before. Or, "Am I your mate?" They've said it to me before in the working place. I wanted to faint, right? So understanding that these dynamics will play out whether you are involved or not. Now, the choice is yours. Do I want to get involved? Do I want to control my own narrative? And nobody is saying brown nose or like nobody's saying that. We're just saying let your voice be heard in rooms where it is important. And in understanding how the dynamics happen up there. I once had an MD who he wasn't a narcissist per se, but he didn't like it when women spoke up. And I had to be in that room and understand, okay, how do I relate with this person? Because I still need to get work done. I once had an MD that was very vindictive. So if he fights with somebody and you are that person's friend, he's fighting with all of you. But I'm not among of you. I'm not even there. But then I need to be promoted. I need my work to be seen. I need to be in high value rooms. So how do I deal with all these things? So first of all, you need to first understand your personality and the personality of people around you. We emotional intelligence is not it's not optional, right? Because then you now begin to manage the dynamics in your space and be able to say, okay, you know what? This kind of person, what I need to do is show them my work, show them what I can do, raise my hand for projects, and I'm fine. While this kind of person, I need to ask you, how are you? How's your family? That cat that crossed the road in your neighborhood the other day, did you see it again? Has it passed? Right? Understanding how to deal with each person is not bootlicking, it's emotional intelligence. And it's very, very important, especially in a high power distance environment like ours. I'll stop there, and let us take other questions.
Thank you, Jumoke. I think the next one that I would say is um how do I know you also mentioned, I mean, for people in mid-career space, you talk about how they need to grow executive presence, right? And
Mm-hmm.
of course, that's like a growing concern. People begin to dial that up more and more. How do people practically grow executive presence, right? How do you ensure that, you walk into rooms and people feel like, oh, this person is ready for the next level, is ready for an executive position? How can persons cultivate such charisma?
Okay, so I will start with one thing that we all know sounds like cliche, but it is the absolute truth. First of all, you need to know what you are doing. There's no executive presence if you do not know what you are doing. It's it's an executive joke. We oh my god, I've worked in so many different interesting places. We had some guy in leadership at that time who could joke from now to the day after tomorrow, ask him technical things about his work. We knew it was his team that was carrying him, but it was a political hire, so there was nothing we could do about it, right? But we all knew. So executive presence without competence is a joke. Let's even start from there. Second is you need to have backing. Yes, I'm going there. You need to pray, because there are rooms you will enter that everybody came there to intimidate you. So you cannot even show the executive presence if you don't have backing. So I have executive backing when I walk into a room. It's not me by myself. You know that song that I get backing? It's God
Exactly.
the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Ghost, and the host of angels. So near me, I beg you, near me, right? So we come in with that. We come in the name of the Lord in everything that we do. Because again, work is ministry. That's a totally different topic entirely. Jesus help me. I took us to church now. Let's get back to the conversations, right? Then another thing is you need to be able to gather your thoughts, arrange and organize, and speak in a coordinated manner. This takes practice. How many of us have felt that when we were in a room, people were saying things, we knew what we wanted to say, but never really said it. Then somebody said it, and you're like, ah, I had that idea.
Exactly.
Right? So you need to be able to gather your thoughts. And even if you are the one that summarizes the meeting, some people, they'll listen to everybody. Then they gather it. They now find synonyms for what everybody said and now present it as their idea. Even if you're the one that summarizes the meeting, start from somewhere. Get used to speaking in those rooms. Come in with one question you want to ask or one statement you want to make. Start with that and expand it. Next is dress for the occasion. I miss Dean wrote to me, Daniels. The way you dress is the way you'll be addressed.
Be addressed.
It is so true.
Clock it.
It is so true. Yeah, so we're clocking it over here. It is so true, right? Because there's even a way you feel when you know that you're not properly dressed. There's a way your confidence kind of shrinks. You probably will even cross your arms as a way of defending yourself against the looks that will come your way. But if you know that you are nicely dressed, you're feeling, there's a way you dress that you'll be feeling yourself. Even you'll be looking at yourself in the mirror, like, oh my God, fine, so what's going on there? Hello, fine girl, what's going on? Right? Oh, sorry. Let's come back into serious matters, right? But you have to dress well and dress for the different rooms that you're going into. So these are some of it. Sometimes I practice in front of a mirror. Speaking, I know, is the most grueling, painful thing. Watching videos of yourself. I still cringe when I watch videos of myself. I'm like, oh, did I say that? Did I look like that? But it is important that you do it. Watch TED Talks. Watch, things that will boost your confidence. And then there's a hack I have for every event that I go to, for every room that is serious that I enter into, for every negotiation I'm going into. I have an energizer song that I listen to. Yours might not be a song, it might be a podcast or something, but I have an energizer song that I listen to that gingers my spirit, that makes me feel like, oh no, you know what? Yeah, we're ready for this, right? And then it just gives you the energy to be able to carry yourself properly in the room. I think, I'll stop here and then, let's see.
Yep. So I like the part where you said that, if you're not skillful and then you're looking for executive presence, I mean, that's an executive joke. I mean, I think that's a full page quote for a PowerPoint presentation. So, I mean, if you're looking for executive presence, you have to be skilled and diligent at what you do. She said it. The last question that we'll take today is pretty much for persons in, I'd say, early careers, right? So persons who are in the early careers or persons who feel stuck and unsure about their next move, right? Or their next step. In your experience, how would you, what are some of the signs that, that shows, that will tell this person it's time to move on, it's time to take the next, to jump out of this boat you're currently in? And for persons who are, feeling stuck or, for persons who are feeling unsure of the next direction, how do they begin to navigate this water? So for persons who are in early careers, who are either feeling stuck or are unsure of their next move, for persons who are stuck, what are the signs that begins to tell this person you need to jump out of this boat? For persons who are unsure, what do they need to do to find their direction? Oluwayomi, do you want to say something? Okay, please go on.
Okay, so first, when you become restless, right? And the restlessness doesn't necessarily have to do with the physical circumstances in the space that you are changing. Sometimes you have outgrown the rooms that you're in, and it's okay. It's not a problem. It's not wrong. You're not wrong. It's okay, right? So first thing I notice when it's time to change or it's time to move is I get restless. And then the next thing would be things that I used to do with grace now become difficult. Because again, we're essentially both physical and spiritual beings, right? So understanding that you cannot divorce the two. And sometimes you may not even be able to fully give language to how you are feeling. It's just a feeling. Now, I'm not saying jump out and act on that feeling. I'm saying just acknowledge that there's that feeling. Now, then we go to the place of taking stock. Where am I now? What am I doing now? And what do I think I could be doing differently? Because feeling stuck could also be a factor of environment, but it could also be a factor of, hey, it's been a while since you developed yourself. It's time to come up higher, do something bigger, do something. There's some of us that feel, that feeling of, I am meant to change the world. But right now, I'm in a cubicle. Nobody knows who I am. Right? So many of us have had that feeling, but we don't jump based on just the feeling. We need to first inquire, what exactly do I have? Who do I feel that I am becoming? What is the gap between who I am and who I need to become? And even in that being stuck, why do I feel stuck? Has the organization moved on and left me behind? Or is it that I'm doing a lot, but it doesn't feel challenging? I worked in a role, and one day I told my husband, I said, I can leave my brain at work, at home, and go to work and still get work done. That's how bad I felt. I felt like my brain was not engaged anymore, right? So some of these things happen in the space of, or in that quiet restlessness, or in that space of feeling stuck. Now, what can we do about it? Is again, identify where we are. Where do we think we can go? What do we need to build to be able to get there? But the most important part of this entire conversation, I kid you not, is asking for direction. You can't go wrong when you ask for direction. Sometimes God is quiet and it's okay. Go to the place of your last instruction and wait there. Waiting can be hard. Waiting can have you feeling like you want to jump out of your skin because, I feel like I can do more, but I don't know what next to do. Right? Ask for direction. When you do that, other practical steps that you can take, like I said, do an audit, a skills audit between where you are and where you want to be. And then now start to follow, use that GPS, right? Who are the people I need to know? Who do I need to become? It got to a stage I knew that if I needed to move in my career, I needed to know more people beyond my office. So I joined associations. I started attending conferences and events. I started attending free ones first before I could afford to pay for it. I will be honest. So all the free one, free webinar, free this one, free that, I was attending everything, diligently following, and then connecting with the speakers, the organizers. How can I volunteer? How can I do more? Because sometimes we're looking for full satisfaction in a workplace, but you forget that there are many spheres of your life, right? So in volunteering, you might find your next calling. In, picking up a hobby, you might find the next thing. So do things outside of work. Have a life, have a social life, have a spiritual life, have that fun side. Enjoy your own company if you have to, right? So 100% satisfaction cannot come from your work. You need to diversify your satisfaction ratio. Yeah, even your portfolio, your financial portfolio, you have to diversify it. So diversify your happiness sources, right? And then we keep it moving. But yeah, those are my thoughts around it. To say, you get restless, do an audit, pray for direction because it's very important. Like I said, work is ministry, and then start to act, do what you need to do, and diversify your happiness. Have a social life, make friends. Kuala is a great place to make friends. I have friends.
Agree.
I have friends in Kuala, so make friends. And then maybe, just maybe, the next move might come from your next volunteer role. All right.
Great. Thank you so much, Chimoke. Thank you so much for your
Oh,
time today.
okay.
So, uh, I think, yeah, before the sakes of time, we're fast spent on time. We have 5 minutes and we'll be out of your air, guys. So thank you so much for staying with us. We'll quickly move on to the next phase, which is our CV review selection. So we had said earlier on that part of the perks of being on this session today is three persons get their CVs, personal CV review with Jumoke today. That will happen much later, but I mean, three person get the opportunity to have their CV reviewed. So I would only be taking the first person, and Jumoke will decide how the other two persons will get selected. Jumoke, are we
Oh,
good with that?
really? Okay.
How
Okay.
we good? Okay, so the first person who guessed this, and I'll tell you why the person guessed it, because the first person to join the call today, if I'm not mistaken, is Idara Sit Tombaya. I'm sorry if I murdered your name, but yes, that's your name. So thank you so much for joining the session first today. So you get the first slot for CV review with Jumoke. Jumoke, over to you. You have the other two persons. So you decide what metrics.
Okay, madam. Now the ball is in my. I don't even know where to start this conversation from. I say, okay, what criteria should we use? Should we use the person who engaged the most?
Definitely, I'm with you on that.
Okay,
Uh,
so yeah, let's see who engaged the most.
King
It cannot be
David.
you. So please, moving on swiftly. I think it looks like it's King David, yes?
King David, yeah, King David today. Yeah.
Okay, so King David, if you're still on the call and I mean you would like to, again, it's not compulsory. If you don't want to, just let us know so that we can give the slot to somebody else,
Someone else.
right? It will be awesome. So let's do that. King David and the third person now, I have no idea. Should we ask someone to give just a comment on the session? And the first
Great.
person to unmute their mic and say something about the
Say
session.
something. Yep. So, I mean, the ball is in your court right now. The first person to unmute and say something that, they've picked out from today's session that they will do moving forward, guess the last slot. And while we're waiting for that, Jumoke, do you want to share your email for this person to reach out to you, or how would you want us to, handle this process?
So if I share my email for the person to reach out to me here, I hope I don't have like 1 million people reaching out, but hey, we
Okay,
love
okay.
you. We love you.
I
Go for it.
can quickly do a private chat to them and then get their emails and push that to you. Or you can, private chat them and send them in your email, whichever one works. Uh,
Okay.
so
Let's
do you want to
see
drop your
this.
email on the chat and specifically only those who have won get to send you an email? I'm
You
hoping.
know what? Let's let's
Mm,
let's do that, or let's connect on
afterwards.
LinkedIn. Let's all connect on LinkedIn. Just again, introduce yourself with the name you put here.
Okay.
So I know it's Idara Estate. I know that it's King David. We haven't gotten our third person yet. So just introduce yourself with the name that you have here. And then in fact that's a lot easier so that I can even get your CV from there and then we can schedule a call. Because
Okay.
again, okay, so in the event that you didn't fully understand what we're doing here, I'm not one to use ChatGPT to write your CV for you. That's not going to work. So we're going to sit together, review the work that you have done so we don't sell each other short, and then get you a CV that can get you into rooms that you want to be in. And who knows? Who knows what else?
There is it. Yes, you can. Please go on. Ola Akin, to you. Your hands are raised. Please go ahead. You can unmute, Ola. Your hand is raised. Okay. Okay. Do we have any takers for the third slot? Are we still here? I see a raised hand anyways. Wisdom. Okay, I need to ask them. Okay. So wisdom, you can speak.
All right, thank you so much. Good evening, everyone.
Good
My name is
evening.
Wisdom Wonder. I'm a core member currently serving in Lagos. I just started about a month ago. So most of what Mrs. Jumakes said during her lecture presentation actually resonated seriously with me. I find myself in an environment where, yes, I believe I finished with a good grade and I landed a job, but then it's not the space where I felt I'll be fully applying my skills. It's a space where I have to adapt. I have to learn to do what it takes to actually make like how do I put it now? I need to make myself relevant to the company. And it's been a bit challenging because would I say it's my manager works remotely, so it's not the person you can see every day, relate with, and then ask questions on what exactly is expected of you. I don't know if you get the context of what I'm trying to convey. So, so it's a tricky situation, but I've taken a few notes here tonight, and I believe applying it will really help me in this situation. Thank you.
Hey,
Okay.
thank you so much, Wisdom. Tumoke, you want to say something?
So, wisdom, there's so many layers and unspoken things in that short comment. And I really don't want to jump into conclusions and make assumptions. So, since you're a third person, we will have a CV review and small session on just what you can do to make impact, to still get the work you need to get done without losing yourself, and find interesting opportunities to express fully all the potential that you have. So we're going to turn it into a mini coaching and CV session. So just reach out and we'll do that. Although in the chat now, I'm seeing that Akintui said he was speaking or she was speaking. So I don't know now. Do we make room for a fourth person? God.
That's up to you, Tumoke. I mean, you're the powerhouse here. If you're capable,
Hey,
I'm
Lord,
standing
Lord.
on your mandate.
Interesting times. Okay, you know what, Ola? Please reach out. We'll make room for you.
Great, 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 great. She's a she. Thank you, Ola She. Um, all right, guys. Thank you so much for a fantastic session. As we wrap up, I know that Jumoke has spoken so much about upskilling and how we need to build skill for the level that we want to be at or the rooms that we want to be in. And so it's important that I mention to us that we have an ongoing partnership with Retrain Nigeria. Retrain Nigeria is an organization that trains persons in different areas of skills that they're interested in, whether it's tech, whether it's customer support, whatever it is that you want to learn or upskill at or in. Retrain Nigeria offers courses, practical sessions that you can use to upskill. I've dropped the flyers in our I've dropped the flyer in our chat box, but we'll also be sharing that across our communities. So if you're interested, please take advantage of the 20% discount that they've given every koala here or every alumni, every Eagle. I think that's it. That's a I don't know how to describe it. And I think that that's really great. That's something great that they've done for everyone. So you get 20% off as an Eagle, right? So please let's take advantage of it and register for the courses that are available on their platform. We need to keep upskilling, to keep dialing ourselves or growing our skills in every sphere. Once again, thank you so much to Moke for the session today. I think that it was really, really practical, very solid insights, actually. Thank you for sharing the experience. We really, really appreciate it. And for everyone who joined us this evening, thank you for spending this evening with us and investing in growth, and investing in how you can, move yourself to the next level, whether it's, whether you're still an early career person or you're, looking to dial up your growth into executive spaces. It was a great session. I think that the speaker today deserves a warm round of applause. So please, let's give her a warm round of applause once again. She's been fantastic and phenomenal. And then she's been very gracious as well, taking on the third CV review. I think that that's really commendable. So please, I'm not seeing the applause. So you guys, encourage somebody in the Lord. Right. So thank you all so much for being here today. We really, really appreciate it. And I think that the next session that we'll be having will be, this is March, April, May, will be happening in May. The date will be communicated to us, but please be on the lookout. It promises to be fantastic as always, very enlightening as well. For persons who are probably wanted, let me give you a bit of hints. You wanted to be in the media space, or you want to be the media person, I promise you it's going to blow your mind. So please come prepared to join us for the May edition of Career Power series. And that brings me to the end of our announcement for this session. Thank you everyone for joining once again. I appreciate having you on the call. Have a fantastic evening or night or afternoon, wherever you are based in. Good night, guys. Thank you, Jumoke. Thank you everyone for joining. Bye.
Thank